Good evening and welcome into Divots and Pivots. I'm Andrew Leduc, aka Mr. Mallard, as always, here on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. That's Sports Podcast Network. I am checking in with us, and I'm hearing myself. I apologize. There we go. Bud may or may not be joining us from the car. He is driving back home from his Mass Am Pub Links Championship that he qualified into. So today was day one. If he gets on here, he'll break it down for us, tell us how he did, tell us all about it. But I can tell you right now, he will at least be playing tomorrow. So bravo, Bud. Can't wait to hear about it. Hopefully, you can join us. But let's get into it because golf is not on a break this week. It's Olympic golf. It's a little different. We get it every 4 years. Xander, the reigning gold medalist champ, back from in Tokyo. So he's in the field again, followed with Colin Morikawa, Scotty Scheffler, and Wyndham Clark for Team USA. So hoping for them to have a little repeat and see what they can do there. And coming out of the Olympic realm as well, there's just some good stories, and that's part of what's awesome about the Olympics time is just the stories that you get of some of these athletes. Because they might not be they're world class athletes, they are Olympians in every sense of the word, but they might not be, professionals or well-known world-class athletes. So we obviously have the golfers, high-end golfers that we know because we all watch golf, but there's some other golfers in here from some other countries that are representing some lower level tours that are looking to make a name for themselves this week. Um, and some of those have some pretty good stories behind them. We got one guy here. Let me get his name so I don't mess that up right. I mean, first of all, we do have Camilo Villegas. He's back in the field. Obviously we've touched on the story he's gone through over the last couple of years, and losing his daughter and working his way back up on the Corn Ferry Tour. So, given his exemption through 2025, Camilo is in the field this week, representing Colombia. So good to see him out there. But then we got some fun stories. Like, I'm gonna butcher this name so bad. We got Joel Jabak, I think is how you say that, Gerbach. I'm not gonna get it right, so I apologize. But hell, he was an insurance buyer for a long time. He's from Switzerland. This is gonna be obviously his first Olympics. He's been all over the place. He mostly played on the Challenge Tour, which is the DP's version of the Corn Ferry Tour, basically. But he's had 146 starts there. But he actually is he's finished pretty well there. He's number 17th on that Challenge Tour in the season standings. He's got some good finishes. Top 20 finishes. So he's in good form. He's only like 372 in the official world golf rankings, but Joel here is someone who is looking to make a name for himself this week. And yes, he's going up against some of the best in the world, but golf, we've seen it before. Golf can be any guy can show up on any given day or weekend and make it happen. So I say anybody is up for grab this week. And this guy's also a very good driver, and he ranks fourth in the DP World Tour in driving accuracy. And we'll touch on the course a little bit. Maybe we won't. Um, it's El Nacional in Paris, or just outside of Paris, but there's a lot of water on this course. This course is going to be very penalizing for golfers who miss off the tee, who aren't accurate with their shots. So someone who is accurate off the tee, he's going to at least keep himself probably in the mix, I'd say, and probably avoid some higher numbers. So hell, if you're looking for a long shot bet to make the top 20, Joel whatever again, he's right there. And then we got Alejandro Tosti from Argentina as well. He's used to his story is quite interesting. Used to, as an 8-year old, ride the bus to the closest golf course, practice for an hour, and ride the bus back. I think it was like an hour there, an hour of practice, and then an hour ride back. So he's just a guy who's had the passion for the game. Him and his friends, him and his brother playing. So once again, someone who's come up on the Latin America tour, Corn Ferry Tour. He got his he's looking to get his first tour card. He's looking to make the Olympics be his kind of stepping stone into taking that next step. So look out for Alejandro Tosti. Um, and then obviously a bit more known story, but Matthew Pavon, who came out on fire, the Frenchman, early to start the season. Wouldn't much put him in the underdog category like some of these other guys because we have seen him have success. He's ranked 23rd in the world right now. So even his ranking alone kind of takes him out of that mix. But Matthew Pavon is someone who can definitely compete this week against the likes of, like I said, Xander and Scotty. And then don't forget the Irishman, Rory and Shane Lowry as well. So anytime playing for the country, playing for pride, um, you can't count Shane Lowry out. So I'm looking for Shane Lowry to make some waves this week as well, and he's in pretty decent form as well. So if you are looking to make some bets, I know DraftKings has DraftKings, FanDuel, Underdog, all the main players. They all got contests you can play for the Olympic golf. That starts Thursday morning, I believe 3 a.m. Eastern time. 3 a.m. Eastern time is the time that's going to start. So nice and bright and early to start your day with some Olympic golf over at El Nacional. I believe that is what it's called. It's Le Nacional. Sorry, El is Spanish. Le Golf Nacional. That's it. Le Golf Nacional, right outside of Paris. So check out your Olympic golf. So we got some good. Let me look at some of the pairings here. So Thorbjorn Olsen, that's a name we know. He is actually playing with Alejandro Tosti that we mentioned. So the two of them and then Joaquin Neiman, that should be actually a pretty interesting grouping right there, teeing off at 311. So I like the looks of that grouping. Corey Connors is going to be playing with Minwoo Lee and Christian Bezuidenhout. That's a great little grouping there as well. And then we're going to have Wyndham Clark, Hideki Matsuyama, and Tommy Fleetwood. That's definitely a nice star-studded group at 3:44 a.m. Eastern time. Let's see here. Sepp Straka, Jason Day, Tom Kim, another good one. Scotty Scheffler, Rory, and Ludwig Gobert. That's that right there. That's going to be the main group to watch. If you're on the East Coast, that's a 4:11 a.m. tee time. I'm probably going to wake up and watch that one. That'll be worth the tired eyes for the rest of the day. So that's definitely a good one. And then let's see, when do we get? We get Camilo Villegas back closer to 5. He's playing with Mateo Manacero and Yashun Wan. Let's see. There he is. Shane Lowry playing at 5:44 with Benny On and Nick Taylor. So let's see. That's a group that I think Shane Lowry is going to be able to feel comfortable in. He's going to be able to probably lead that group in scoring. So I think Shane Lowry is going to be positioned well to have a very good Olympics. So I'm liking. I'd have to look up his odds. I don't know what his odds are. Let's try to look up some of that while we look at some of these other tee times here, because then Xander's teeing off at 5:55. He's playing with Victor Hovland. He's playing with John Rahm. There's your second absolute home run of a star-studded group pairing right there. So Xander, Victor, and Rahm. That's at 5:55. So this is Matthew Pavon playing with Morikawa and Fitzpatrick. Look, it's Olympic golf. There's a ton of great talent in this field. And there's some big time groups, but I want to check out Shane Lowry's betting odds for the Olympics. Because like I said, I like the way his form is coming into this. I like the course setup for him. And I just like his attitude and the way he competes when it comes to playing for for pride and for the pride of your country. So it looks like he's plus 400 for a top 5 finish. That's I would definitely take those odds. That's great odds if you ask me from a betting standpoint. So plus 400 on Shane Lowry to finish top 5 in the Olympics. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So go and slam that if you can. I don't know what you're playing for units, but I'd definitely be putting 1 or 2 units down on Shane Lowry at plus 400. And now, granted, I'm not a big time bettor, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But I do think that Shane Lowry is going to have himself a weekend here. So do with that as you may. and move forward and hopefully make some money. And if you do tell us about it, we don't want to take the credit or anything. Just tell us about it because we like hearing success stories. Email us at it should be on the bottom here. Email us at divotsandpivots at Gmail or on our socials. And then as always, shop at acornhillsco.com and use that discount code TBFY15 to get all their latest merch because Acorn Hills Clothing has got a lot of fire designs out right now, a lot of great products. Get over there to the website, read the story, the origin story. We're good friends with Nate. Couldn't say enough nice things about them. So definitely help out the Acorn Hills cause and help them grow because the world needs more companies like Acorn Hills. But let's talk some more. I guess we'll talk some more Olympics because I did have this lingering thought. Now I know the way the Olympics works as far as eligibility for countries is the official world golf rankings is really the main first one. But there's a limit of obviously four golfers from each country. And I want to see where exactly Wyndham Clark falls right now in the official world golf rankings because he out of the, like I said, Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, and then Wyndham Clark. Wyndham Clark stands out to me as someone that I don't view as one of the top four American golfers in golf right now. He is fifth in the world golf rankings, so I get it. It makes sense. Scotty's one, Xander two, Wyndham's five, and Colin Morikawa six. I think that's a lot of leftover points from the success we had Clark have last year because I want to pull up what kind of his recent form is, as I don't think it's been. I mean, for what I can think of right now, I don't think Wyndham Clark has really. He finished T10 at the Scottish Open, missed the cut at the at the Open. I want to look at more than just that though. Let's see. Let's see here. He did finish 9 at the Travelers, but man, coming into that though, he had a 56 at the U.S. Open, missed the cut at the Memorial, missed the cut at the PGA Championship, 47th at the Wells Fargo. He was having a decent start to the year, some up and down. He did obviously win the Pebble Beach back in February. He had back-to-back second place finishes at the Arnold Palmer and the Players. But he's had a lot. It's been very hot or cold. Miscut at the Masters, miscut at the PGA Championship, miscut at the Open. Those are the ones that obviously coming into the Olympics, I'm looking at those bigger tournaments, and he has not been able to perform at the big stage. Obviously Pebble Beach is no joke to win, so good on him for that. And obviously he's finishing second at the Players is also no joke. Same with the Arnold Palmer, but I discount a little bit more some of his other finishes and third at the RBC Heritage, ninth at the Travelers, 10th at the Scottish, Genesis Scottish Open. Those ones just don't hold enough weight for me when it comes to coming into the Olympics. So to me, there's more negatives on his resume coming into this than there is positives. I much rather would have had Patrick Cantlay or definitely I definitely would have much rather had Bryson. Now I don't know where this fell into. Well, actually, no, I do know because I guess it's strict top 15. The top four guys for each country in the top 15 are automatically in. So that's why Wyndham Clark's in. So there was no decision here. But still, I would much rather have Patrick Cantlay, Bryson DeChambeau representing the U.S. At the Olympics this week than I would Wyndham Clark. Wyndham Clark was not even really anywhere near my near my choices for the Olympics. So we'll see how he does. I'm just not as excited about that one. I'm even looking a little bit further down here. Yeah, Cantlay and Bryson are definitely the two that stand out to me the most is that I would rather have in there. Side note here that I'm just noticing though, Bryson coming in even with where he is on live and whatnot, top 10 in the world golf rankings right now still. So Bryson's worked his way back up. He looks like he finished 2023 at 155th in the world. Back up in the top 10 though. So Bryson doing the work, putting it in right now, and showing out at the major championships to get those ranking points up. So that's nice to see. John Rahm also back up in the top 10. He did finish last year in third in the rankings, so obviously that's technically a drop for him. But considering he's now been in Live Golf for almost 8 months now, John Rahm's still in the top 10. That's good on him there. So yeah, there's something I noticed as I was pulling that up there. But yeah, Wyndham Clark, we'll see how you do, buddy. I'm rooting for you. I like Wyndham Clark. He's the one I'm least confident in right now when it comes to the Olympics. But let's see what we can get into here, because it's a solo night, and honestly, there's not a ton to talk about going into the Olympics this week. It was a quiet week last week in the golf world. Yeah, it's really just been lead up to the Olympics. I did personally play golf last weekend, kind of last minute, just at a local course. Did not shoot the best, but that happens. That's why I was eager to hear how Bud did today, being that he finally got to the show that he's been trying to qualify for. So hoping he jumps on here so that we can hear more about it. But like I said, making the cut, a nice big accomplishment for him, and hopefully he can bring it home strong tomorrow to finish up pretty decently. But I guess, since I am solo here, screw it, we can talk some football too, because the football season is right around the corner here. It's ramping up big time. And this is definitely going to be a pivot show anyways tonight. So hell, I've already finished 2 drafts. I'm in the middle of a draft right now. For the life of me, I am trying to log into my sleeper account so I can give you a breakdown of what's going on. But it's not working. It's not working, unfortunately. But so I'm in this this league set up by Chuck Bass, who is another creator here on that sports podcast network. He's set up this multi-tiered kind of league where there's 12 divisions. It's called the Ozempic Trials. It's set up in a way that I think is going to be a lot of fun. The twist with this league is basically that each and every week, no matter what, you have to drop a player off your team. There's no waivers, there's no trading. So once you each and every week you're going to lose somebody, and eventually you're going to get down to where you're not going to be able to start every position. So you got to get strategic about who you drop in, looking forward to bye weeks, all that jazz. So it's a much different spin than I've ever done before, and I'm looking forward to it. But I'm also just frankly quite happy with the way that this draft has turned out so far. So I want to bring that through you. I want to bring you through that with me right now. I had the 4th position, which I didn't think I was gonna like being this far up in the draft this year with the way that my rankings laid out. But if I can get my home league to go this way, I think I prefer drafting from the 4th position so far than I did drafting from the 8th position in Scott Fishbowl. So we'll see how the full team shakes out. But basically, here we go. I got in now. Let's see. Get to the draft room here. So we are currently in the 10th round. And so the structure of this team is 1 QB, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end, and then 6 flex positions. And then on top of that, you obviously have enough bench players to round out the season, taking you all the way to week 18. And then for the championship week, week 18, the winners of every division will face off against each other for the ultimate champion. But obviously, because you have to drop someone every week, the kicker is that week is literally going to be a showdown of one person from everybody's team going against each other. So that's going to be fun. Like I said, I'm super excited of how this this league is going to shake out. I love the concept. I love having fun and shaking it up with the way leagues are structured because I mean, just your everyday PPR, normal standard roster construction, it can get boring. People get, lose touch with it as the season goes on, as they're doing not so well. So I think this is going to be fun. This is going to keep people interested. So let me take you through some other picks, though. So at the 1-4 pick, I actually went with Jamar Chase. I kicked it off strong there at wide receiver. I took him right after Tyreek Hill and right before Amon-Ra St. Brown. Some other receivers, I took him right before in the first round. Justin Jefferson went in the first round. A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, and Puka Nacua all also went in the first round. So I took Chase ahead of all those options. The running backs that went in the first round, obviously Christian McCaffrey went 1. No surprise there. But then Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, and Jahmyr Gibbs also went in that first round. And then as we whipped it back around, there was a big running back run at the start of the second round, starting with Saquon Barkley, ending with Devon Achane, which another name I'll probably never say right, but whatever. And by the time it got back around to me, I decided to go with Isaiah Pacheco with my second pick. So at 2-9, I went Isaiah Pacheco as my starting running back. I took him over Josh Jacobs and Rashad White, the other two running backs that went after me. That went after me in the second round there. So once again, Pacheco, high upside player in that offense. I think it's going to be a big part of the way that offense is going to run. I think we only saw a glimpse of it last year, so I was super excited about being able to get him there. And then coming back around, my plan here was to also take Travis Kelce, but unfortunately got sniped right before me, the pick right before. So to kick off the third round, going right before me, Mike Evans went, Deebo Samuel went, and Travis Kelce went. So that left me somewhat scrambling. I could have went high-end tight end with someone like Sam Laporta or Trey McBride. I decided not to do that. I decided to actually reach for another running back here, a guy who I think is going to have a surprise kind of last finish here, and that was Alvin Kamara. I took Alvin Kamara as my third-round pick. It was definitely probably a one-round reach, but I wasn't convinced he was going to make it back around to me. And, when you have a guy that you want, you go and get him. So I took Alvin Kamara there. And no, actually, I was the only one to take a running back in the third round. So that worked out nicely. And in fact, the next running back wasn't even taken until the end of the fourth round at the turn. And that was Joe Mixon. But my fourth round pick right before that, in the midst of a little bit of a QB run, Josh Allen went towards the end of the third round. Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts went back-to-back to kick off the fourth round. And then Patrick Mahomes went the pick right before me, so I actually decided to pivot for a second here. I felt confident enough in it with the single quarterback league to wait another round on the quarterback. I picked up Michael Pittman here to pair with Jamar Chase in the wide receiver room. And then right after me, Anthony Richardson, Dak Prescott got taken. So that was that. That's fine. I obviously would have loved Anthony Richardson, but I was fine missing out on Dak Prescott. And then coming back around, I was able to get in the fifth round, with the fourth pick of the fifth round, I was able to get Joe Burrow as my quarterback to pair with Jamar Chase there. So, which was a big reason I took him over CJ Stroud, who went 3 picks after me there. I've been a big CJ Stroud fan this year, but the stack of Chase and Burrow just gave him a slight edge for me over Stroud. So I went with Burrow there. Like I said, Stroud went. And then in the next round, we had Kyler Murray and Jordan Love go for quarterbacks. But as it came back around to me, now I'm thinking, okay, now I just want to reach for some guys who I think are gonna do good, that are gonna round out some nice surprise depth of my team. Because I have found in multiple drafts so far this year, this 6 through 8 round, I don't necessarily love the value that I've been seeing there. So I've decided to kind of use this area of the draft to really reach for some guys that if I want them, I'm going to take them. I'm going to get them. So I took Terry McLaurin there in the 6th round, and then coming back around in the 7th round, I took Chris Godwin, which was definitely probably a round or two early on him, but I was happy with that because he seems excited about the offense down there this year. He seems excited about his role. And he's specifically excited to be back in the slot, really primarily. So we saw him have a ton of success in the slot in that first breakout season he had down there with Tampa. So I'm high on Chris Godwin. I'm loving the value I'm able to get him at, especially with the way this league is structured. But even in a normal league, technically Chris Godwin on this team is my, wide receiver 4. So he would at best be my flex guy because I had already had 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. So to hell for Chris Godwin to be my wide receiver 4 in any format, I'm gonna be happy with that. I'm gonna take that. It looks like Bud might be trying to join us in here. I don't know if we're gonna have video or just audio. So like I said, he's gonna be driving. So we'll give it a try here. But we do have a video.
What is happening? What have I missed? I've learned. Hold on, real quick. I've been backstage for a couple minutes now. I've learned more about Chris Godwin than I ever thought I was going to get in my entire life. Here, let's see if we get some studio lighting in here. How's that? Is that better?
There we go. There's the studio lighting.
I'm glad it's very low light because I'll tell you what, I'm a hot mess right now. It is warm in the center of Massachusetts.
It's warm everywhere right now in New England. It was, after having a beautiful weekend of no humidity. I don't know how it was for you, but up here in New Hampshire,
oh, it's gorgeous.
This weekend was freaking gorgeous. It was warm but no humidity. There was a breeze, and the mornings were crisp and cool. It felt like early fall, and I freaking loved it. I felt like I should be turning on football with a candle lit or something. So I was loving it.
I definitely on Sunday the club championship was shit. Your boy went 77-86. Day 2, and what I'm telling myself is I won it last year. Whatever. Let's this kid who won. His name's Tony Novak. He's a great kid. He plays college golf at Merrimack. Shout out. He played well. He shot like 70, 73, 77.
Okay.
So yeah, good for him. But he didn't go out to the Massachusetts Amateur Public Links today and throw a dart from 110 on 18. To make a birdie, I beat the cut by 1. The cut was 6. I shot 5 over. So I'm on my way home to get maybe 6-7 hours of sleep. So then I can wake up and head back out. I tee off at 9:28 tomorrow morning for round 2. I'm playing with the same guy that I played with today, and I played the qualifier with. So shout out John. It's going to be fun, round 3. And then I hit the ball really well. I actually hit the ball very, very well. So I shot 5 over. Where did those strokes come in? Of course, that's what everybody's dying to know. Double bogey on a par 5 that's inexcusable that was created by a just topped 4-iron. Fucking topped a 4-iron. 200 out on a par 5 led to a 7. Can't have it. Can't have it.
That's a me shot right there.
Right. And then I had two 3-putts. One of which was created by me not marking my 2-footer. Instead, I was like, I'll just clean this up, lipped out. And I could just hear my buddy Christian saying, just mark it. Just mark it. Just mark your ball and walk away. And so I went back to that, steadied the ship. It was good. And then after that, so I just had 2 or 3 fuck-ups and then was able to maintain, make a couple birdies, and, bring it home. I'll say this. I'm about 6 shots out of second.
Okay.
But somebody went out and shot 8 under today. I can't remember the guy's name, but he shot 64 and just kind of let everybody know he's here. So
that's impressive for Mass Am Public. That's really impressive. So
it's very impressive. The buddy I was playing with kind of knows him, and he goes, he's one of those guys who's just a total stick. He just happens to play out of a public course. I think he plays out of George Wright in Boston or whatever. So.
Okay.
What has been going on in the show? What I missed?
So mainly as far as golf goes, I was touching on Olympic golf. I touched on some of the stories of some of the lesser known guys in the field this week.
Like who? Who'd you talk about? Catch me up.
Oh, I gotta read their names again because I'm gonna screw their names up. Hold on. While you look them up real quick, did you explain how these people get into the field in the first place? Because, so I was talking about how because one of my takes was that I'm not thrilled that Wyndham Clark is necessarily in it this year for us because I don't think he's in the greatest form, but because he's top 15 in the official world golf rankings, and he's one of the top 4 for the United States. He's in, no question about it. He's got to be there. I did say I would have preferred Patrick Cantlay or Bryson DeChambeau in there instead of him.
Oh, for sure. If I'm putting together a team, if we're putting together a squad,
yeah,
we're handpicking 4 American golfers. I don't even know if I would just go all top shelf. I mean, you can get creative, but yeah, exactly. So you get who you get, but then it tops out at the world's top 60, basically. You have to basically be in the top 60 to get in this thing, or top 70-ish. So it is a pretty
not necessarily though, because there's one of the guys. That's one of. Now I forget which one it was. Hold on, I got to go back to the actual look at the rankings, because I want to say it was either Alejandro Tosti or
Tosti's not in the top 60 in the world right now.
Well, hold on. No, he might be. I might be. Like I said, I'm forgetting which one is outside.
You probably are right. You probably are right. It's not limited.
No, it's not. It's Joel. It's Joel Gerbosch or Gerbach, or I don't know how to say his last name, but he's only world 372.
Okay, so I'm wrong with my assessment. I'm just focused on the top anyway, because Joel Gerbosch is not going to be hoisting the medal or wearing the gold medal or whatever the hell we do at this tournament. It's going to be, first of all, have you seen the shade that Rory McIlroy is in form right now? And by form, I mean Ryder Cup form. He is loving the back and forth with the Americans right now.
So in that I was kind of touching on that with him and Shane Lowry for Ireland this week, because I said when anytime Shane Lowry gets a chance to play for pride with his country's flag on his back, I'm gonna be cheering. I'm obviously going to be cheering for the U.S. team, but I'm going to be watching Shane Lowry, and I'm going to be expecting him to do good. And I said he's plus 400 to finish top 5, and I'm throwing money at that.
Oh yeah, I mean I have him wearing hardware at the end of the week. I basically say him, Rory, Victor, Tommy, Fairway Jesus, any of the guys who were part of the 2018 beatdown. Keep an eye on them, because it's going to be at that level. They're just going to. I mean, they're going in with all the confidence in the world. Rory was even throwing a little shade at the press conference, talking about the rough. Shane goes, "Yeah, I don't know if it's much longer than the Ryder Cup," and he's like, "It was tough enough for the Americans," or something like that. Like he's there, and I kind of worry a little bit. Like, is he going to get in our heads for 2025 Beth Page? Like, is he already?
100%.
Is he already trying to? I don't know. All right. So Olympic golf starts Thursday. The tee times we get morning golf.
Tee times are like 3 a.m. So here's some of the marquee groups that I had marked that I think are the must see ones. So 4:11 a.m. Eastern time is Scotty Scheffler, Rory, and Ludwig Aubert. So gotta love that. That's a must. Actually, is this Eastern Standard Time? Yeah. And then later on in the day, the other like kind of star-studded group is Xander, Victor, and Rahm, and that's at 5:55 a.m. So that's another smash of a group. But even right after that, you get Pavon, you got Morikawa, you got Fitzpatrick. There's some good stuff out there, and another reason why I really like Shane Lowry is because Shane Lowry's playing with Benny On and Nick Taylor, and I looked at that group as a group that Shane Lowry's going to feel comfortable, relaxed, smooth in. Yeah, and he's going to come out as the top scorer in that group, I feel like. So I think he's going to have like a nice little cruise feel to his game this week.
I'm excited about Olympic golf, and I do think that after this year it's going to get bigger. I heard people musing about updates and maybe some things that we could do different moving forward. Obviously, we've already talked about the mixed alternate shot or the mixed best ball, and I think that would be fun. This was another idea. All right, we're going to drive, hands-free, drink. Hold on. Water. It's water. Got to hydrate. I cramped up on the back nine. Woo! Your boy was walking today.
It was hot out there today, dude.
And we might be going with a cart tomorrow.
Oh, really? Go for it. Why not?
Why not? What were we just talking about? Oh, Jon Rahm.
Yes.
I say he just won at Live. I'd be leery of him. I think he might basically Gary Player came out recently and was talking about nobody's worth, $500 million. Nobody. He's like, I turned down money. Jack turned down money. Tiger turned down money. He's like, no disrespect to John Rahm, but nobody. That's absurd. Like that kind of stuff. Who knows? Maybe winning this live event, because winning is winning.
Sure.
Especially some of those guys, and especially when they feel a chip on their shoulder already about winning at a live event and how it's perceived as less than, because it is less than for right now.
Yeah.
But a guy like John Rahm has been looking to right the ship. I've been talking a lot of shit about him because he's been out of form. But if Bryson did that too, where he at the Greenbrier, I can't remember if he won that tournament or if he just went like 61-59 on the weekend or whatever it was.
I don't even think he won it, honestly. I think he just went real low.
Yeah, I think he just went real low, and it was like, oh my God, that was it. That was the turning point. So this could be a turning point for John Rahm. And don't sleep on Team France. Victor Perez.
Yeah.
You know me. I like me some Victor Perez every once in a while. He's a good Tier 3 guy. And Mathieu Pavon. Obviously, they're familiar with the Le Golf National because of the French Open. So it's not even just the Ryder Cup guys. Anybody in that DP World Tour who plays that tournament every year, I'd give them a look. And then, of course, who is your pick for who you got gold, silver, bronze? Maybe not necessarily in that particular order, but who are your top three?
So, like I said, I do have Shane Lowry in my top three, so we're agreeing there.
Too.
I like Shane Lowry there. I do. As far as the other finishers, I have Scotty as having some hardware too. Oh God, as far as the other three, I'm gonna go with Victor Hovland, I think.
I like it.
As my three lifting the hardware. Yeah, I like that.
I got Shane Lowry on a podium.
Mm-hmm.
I got, God, man. I really, really, really like Scotty just because of feel, but then something tells me Xander. I mean, why would you bet against Xander right now? So I do.
I know Xander lives for the Olympics.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if you got two Americans on the podium. So I'll be bold. I'll be bold and say Xander, Scotty, and Shane Lowry. Shane Lowry's my dark horse.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Although, can he still be a dark horse if we're both picking him?
No, but all right. Listen, your boy's got to run. I'm driving. Yes. I probably shouldn't be on here this long in the first place. Send positive vibes tomorrow morning wherever you all are.
Yes.
9:28 a.m. If you're out in East or South, I think South Hadley, East Hadley, I don't fucking know. If you're near Ledges Golf Club, give me a shout. Talk to you later, buddy.
Sounds good. Later, man.
I like being a guest on my own show. This is fun. Well, it's a show. I'm just here for morale.
It's our show, sir. All right, so there it was. Bud, he gave us the quick update from the road. As you can see, his tournament round went quite long today, so that's why he didn't join us. Now, I don't lie. I'm not a liar, but so Bud joined us there. And so it seems like we're on a very similar page when it comes to the Olympic golf. Like I said, I am going to be waking up early to watch it. It's every 4 years, and it's why not? It's golf, and we love golf. But let's get back to finishing up this kind of run through of the Olympic trials draft here, and then we'll probably wrap it up right there after that. So I think I left off with Chris Godwin, the 7th round pick. So I will say that I was between Chris Godwin and Rashee Rice, and I know probably a lot of people are going to say I should have taken Rashee Rice, and I get the arguments for it. Totally understand. Rashee Rice went the very next pick after me, and I did have that moment of like crap, buyer's remorse, whatever you want to call it. But I do believe in kind of my thought process here, what I'm doing. So Rashee Rice is also going to have a big year. I think it just feels like Chris Godwin I think they're going to be in the same area. And I think Chris Godwin just has a better path, in my opinion, to be a little bit more consistent, possibly. So that's why I went with him over Rashee Rice. But Rashee Rice was definitely right there for the picking. And he went right after me. Keenan Allen up for receivers also went right after. And then this is where going into round 8 is where things get a little, I don't know, less confident. So I started to really struggle with some value, in my opinion, with my rankings here. So at this point, I was starting to think, okay, when am I going to take the second quarterback? So that I can make sure I always have a quarterback starting, and I don't have to get screwed by injuries. There's still a ton of good quarterbacks on the board, so I passed on quarterback in round 8, and I passed on quarterback in round 9. Round 8, I took Zach Moss at running back. Some guys that went right before him, Javonte Williams and Brooks. Why am I blanking on Brooks' first name? But in Carolina, Jonathan Brooks, I think. So the two of them went for running backs. At least went right before. The guy that I missed out on here that I was getting excited as pick by pick went by in the 8th round, and as it was getting closer to me, I was like, "This is amazing that he's going to be here." I'm getting all this luck with guys falling to me right where I want them to be. And he ended up going 2 picks before me, and that was Brock Bowers at tight end. I was really hoping to grab my tight end there in Brock Bowers, um, and it just didn't happen. So, looking at the tight end landscape, the other teams I was drafting with and their needs, and kind of trying to play the guessing game of who was going to be there, I decided to go with Zach Moss there. And then coming back around on the turn, Dalton Schultz got taken at the start of the 9th round, which would have been someone I would have taken in the 9th round there, and been happy with, but missed out on Schultz, missed out on Bowers. So at this point now, I knew I was punting a tight end. And that was just the way it was going to be. So I will say where I might have messed up here. So in the 9th round, I took Brian Robinson at running back, and once again, I was debating taking a tight end here. I was debating taking Dallas Goedert, or TJ Hawkinson here with this 9th pick. I felt confident once again looking at the draft board and how everybody on the back half of the draft order here already had 1 or 2 tight ends in some cases. I felt confident at least one of them would still be there in the 10th round, and I was wrong. Goddard went at the start of the 10th, and then Hawkinson went 3 picks before my 10th round pick. So with the 10th round pick being the last pick I've made so far, I am still without a tight end right now. Probably going to have to settle for taking one here in the 11th round coming up, in the likes of Cole Kmet. Who else is available still? Let's see. Yeah, like a Cole Kmet or Pat Fryermuth. Other than that, like, I'm once again pushing off a couple rounds because the value just isn't worth it. But at some point, I have to have a tight end. So, but it's starting to look like that tight end position is going to be a position that I'm just kind of throwing whoever I can get in my draft in there, and then that's probably when it comes to cutting starters, will probably be the first spot that I end up cutting off the team. So with that said, though, my 10th round pick, I did get my backup quarterback. I got Tua in the 10th round. So my 2 quarterbacks are going to be Joe Burrow and Tua. I believe that's all I'm going to carry for quarterbacks with this setup, this roster setup. Just going to go for 2. I think most people are just going to go with 2 quarterbacks. Only have to start 1. And so I think that's how I'm going to roll. And from here, like I said, I'm probably going to end up taking some out of like 2 out of my next 3 picks are probably going to be tight ends, just so I can cross that off of the list. And then it's just going to be all value building for my bench from there. Some of the guys that I'm targeting, we'll see if they end up getting to me or not. But some of the guys, let's see, where's my cue? So I can take off these other quarterbacks now because I know I won't be getting them. Some of the other guys I'm targeting right now, though, like I said, a tight end, I'm going to be targeting now Cole Kmet, Noah Fant, and Pat Fryermuth. I'm hoping to get at least 2 out of those 3. At running back, I'm targeting Jerome Ford, J.K. Dobbins, and Jaleel McLaughlin at this point. Like I said, so J.K. Dobbins is someone that I'm staying away from in most formats and most other constructions, but considering how I already have 4 running backs at this point, now I feel confident in taking a chance on J.K. Dobbins. So those are some running backs I'm going to be targeting. And then let's take a look at some of the wide receivers that are still on the board that, once again, because I have 4 wide receivers already, I'm going to be looking at some guys that are still available here. The likes of Romeo Dobbs or Jamison Williams, Xavier Legette, the rookie, Rashid Shaheed in New Orleans. Although he's he's going to be actually that I only said that because I had Scott Fishbowl in the mind. So Rashid Shaheed is not someone I'm going to be targeting in this format. But someone like Josh Palmer, I'm going to be targeting in this format because he has the potential to be the number 1 wide receiver for LA now. So to get him this far down, that would be fantastic value. Let's see who else is still down here too. Jalen Polk is someone who has been flashing for the Patriots in camp so far, so that's someone who might be worth a risk. And then if it doesn't work out, he's an early season cut off the team, makes it easy. Michael Wilson, someone else who is looking to make an early push for the number 2 wide receiver on the Cardinals. So someone like that I'm going to be targeting. So yeah, there's still a lot of good value and meat on the bone at both wide receiver and running back, to where I feel confident filling out my team here and having a lot of candidates that are probably going to get cut in the first 8 weeks. But like I said, this format's going to be fun. I'm excited to see how it goes. Like I said, I've done Scott Fishbowl. That draft is completed in the middle of this draft. And let's see, I have one other league that's just for fun. That's just kind of a goofy setup where you only draft wide receivers and quarterbacks. So I've drafted that league already as well. And then I have my home league left to draft. That'll be end of August, early September, right before the season, as well as the Premier Fantasy Football League will be same kind of time period that'll be drafting. If you don't know what that is, this guy right here, BJ Rudell, him right here, he wrote this book a while ago. This book kind of inspired me to get into the content creator industry, as far as, or at least it started really making me think about stats in fantasy football and how to analyze and how to which stats to look at, how to compile them and all that, to really get my head thinking to where, hell, I enjoy doing all this research. I enjoy putting predictions together based on the numbers. So that book is definitely my first and number 1 inspiration. BJ Rodell wrote it. He's a very long time successful fantasy football player, fantasy baseball as well, other sports. He put together this. It's basically based off of the Premier, soccer league in Europe. So once again, multiple divisions, top 2 finishers each season move up a division. The bottom 2 in each division each season move down a division. So it's pretty straightforward. This is the 3rd season, I think, 3rd or 4th season now. I've been able to move up a division every year. So this is, I want to say I'm in B or C division this year. So, yeah, it's once again another fun kind of mix up on how to play fantasy football. Love it. So I'll be drafting that team late August as well, early September. So we got 2 more drafts left. Looking forward to it. Probably do another show draft with TSS Fantasy as well. So if you want to check that out, every Friday night, and then once the season starts, every Sunday morning, TSS Fantasy here on That Sports Podcast Network, joined by a lot of fun guys over there. So definitely check us out there as well. Other than that, look, guys, I know we didn't talk a lot of golf this episode. It's a pivot episode, whatever. Solo tonight, so I'm just kind of riffing with what feels right tonight, and football's on the mind because, like I said, this weekend was beautiful. It made me feel like it was fall, so we're rolling with it. Take a sip of the drink there, and probably wrap this up for us. So look, once again, Olympic golf starts bright and early, 3 a.m. Thursday morning, Eastern time. And then that'll go all the way to Sunday. So check it out. Cheer on your country. I'll be cheering for the U.S. obviously, and but obviously just looking forward to seeing the back and forth and the competition between the countries. So I hope you enjoy it. Hope you tune in next Tuesday as well, because we're gonna right after the Olympics, we're getting ready for playoff golf. The Wyndham Championship is coming up, and then we got a couple straight weeks of playoffs leading up to the Tour Championship. So check us out 8 o'clock next Tuesday here on That Sports Podcast Network. Bud will be back with me next week, and we'll get you ready for some playoff golf. But as always, love you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you for sticking around, even though we weren't on last week and we're kind of solo this week. So check us out. Love you. And as always, stay classy.